Hey, what's up? This video is about a niche site that I sold for $235,000 in 2017. And this is part 2, so be sure to check out part 1 if you haven't seen it. I'm Doug Cunnington, the founder of Niche Site Project, and I talk about Amazon niche sites, productivity, and project management. Now, I was brought in to help on this website to improve its traffic and profit so that we could hopefully sell it for $500,000. Now, I told you in part 1 that with my background in project management and internet marketing, I created a plan for us. Project Go White Hat. We had 3 basic steps for this plan. 1, replace all of the private blog network links with guest post links, which were white hat. Part 2 was to improve the existing content. Part 3 was to add more content that was keyword golden ratio compliant. So for more details on the plan, be sure to check out part 1. I'll put a card up there so you can get to it or check in the description. For now, I want to tell you what happened next because, of course, we hit our first big bump. We had serious negative SEO problems. Negative SEO is when competitors create links to your site and they somehow violate Google's rules. And the idea is they want your site to get penalized and they just want to hurt the competition. It's not cool, and we were getting all these bad links. So our site was getting tons of negative SEO, meaning the competition was hitting us hard with terrible links. So we started monitoring that pretty closely. Of course, we wanted to get rid of the private blog network links, and those backlinks that are white hat, the guest posts, they don't violate Google's rules. So we had 10 guest posts ready to publish. We sent them out to various bloggers and editors when I realized we had a very major problem, a dumb mistake on my part. So 7 out of 10 of these posts contained what's called exact match anchor text. Anchor text is the hyperlink that's clickable in an article or a website. Think of the words that link to another website, and when you click on them, they're usually blue, and that's anchor text. Using exact match anchor text means that the links were the exact match to the keyword that we were trying to rank. It's a big no-no, and it was kind of a mistake on my part. This kind of backlinking with exact match anchor text can cause major issues with Google because you can get penalized for having unnatural links. It's basically just like negative SEO. Essentially, we were accidentally setting ourselves up to be penalized by Google. To be honest, this was basically my fault. I hadn't confirmed with the writing team and the outreach manager to not use exact match anchor text. So this was a learning experience for me as well as the team. We'd already sent out the articles to the other websites and they were ready to go. And I knew we were about to cause ourselves a lot more problems by allowing them to be published as is. So I had to think fast and make a decision. We decided to contact each of the bloggers and editors who are about to publish our content and ask them very nicely to publish a new version of the article. It was risky, but it was worth it to hopefully avoid some of the hassles that would happen if we published 7 new articles with exact match anchor text. Now, we didn't get to change all of them, but 4 out of the 7 updated the version of the article, and that meant a lot less anchor text was going to be published. We felt much better about it. So then it was time to focus on our next set of challenges. We survived our first hiccup and we handled it well. We knew that we were still in good shape and we could continue moving forward. We were ready to keep improving the website to get ready to sell. The negative SEO, we took care of that. So we monitored the links in Ahrefs and then we would disavow them every couple weeks. Basically, it took care of itself. The people stopped sending those links and the problem went away. We decided to take massive action to improve the site. So here's what we did. We improved the content. We identified that there were about 8 pages that were actually providing us with most of our profits. We hired excellent writers to expand and improve each one of the pages, which greatly improved our traffic and profit. It's amazing what a difference having better quality content will do, and by figuring out which pages were actually bringing us a profit. We didn't have to commit to a complete overhaul of every page on the website, but just the ones that were bringing in most of the traffic. The next thing we did as part of this massive action was to get rid of the PBN links. We focused on getting more guest post content. We hired good writers, and it can seem like an expensive cost, but it did pay off. Now, we did need to get rid of 45 PBN links, and we were committed to getting rid of 15 links per month. And this was an achievable goal that would have a big long-term impact. Now, we decided to add 60 pages of new content as well to help continue boost the traffic and the profits. We saw great improvements with these steps. Our profits were steadily going up. We made $10,000 in September, $14,000 in October, $19,000 in November, and we made $32,000 in December. So we actually increased the profits by like 320% from September in the previous earnings. And we were making great progress on our goal to be able to sell the site. But naturally, we were about to run into another big problem, the content team. Now, to start off with, our writing team was doing great. They were producing content, they were improving content, and they were writing all of the guest posts too. I hired a team of freelance writers to do the articles and the content management as well. In fact, I had a content manager that would edit, proofread, and get all the articles ready to publish. We started out doing great. We were producing about 30 articles per week. Remember, a good chunk of those articles were being sent out as guest posts as well. However, pretty quickly, it started to fall apart. The rate slowed down to about 7 articles per week. And when I asked my content manager what was going on, he kept putting me off. I wasn't getting the information I needed, and meanwhile, this was the week before Christmas. So I had to take action, and the thing is, it was hard to, hire new people. I was busy around the holidays, it's hard to get stuff done. So first, I made some attainable goals for the writing team. So instead of, one huge writing assignment of, 35 posts in a week, I asked them to just get 4 posts a week published. Now, obviously, it's much more manageable, and it helped them see progress rather than a finish line so far away. I hired 3 new writers to help with the content, including the guest posts. Now, sometimes you have to be willing to invest more money in the short term if you know you're gonna get an ROI later. Keep in mind, the site was making good money, so we were able to just reinvest. And around this time, we were making about $1,000 a day. So did this help? Yes, it did. We were able to improve the guest posting rate, but we were still behind schedule. So it was a positive, but not necessarily a complete solution. Luckily, hiring the writers solved the content problem, and we were able to reach our content goals and produce more articles for the site. However, we still had a lot of work to do. We decided to hire an outreach team, and this was essentially a few people that I hired exclusively to build relationships with bloggers and get guest posts. These people were different than the writers because instead of creating the content, their whole focus was to get out there and network. And having both types of roles on your team can be really valuable and save you a lot of time. So we were feeling pretty good. We were solving problems as they popped up. However, if you've been following this story, you know that things were about to go wrong again. If you already run an Amazon niche site and you have been for, a year or two, you probably remember that Amazon changed the commission structure in March of 2017. When this took effect, it wasn't great for us, or many other niche sites. Most people I talked to experienced a 25 to 48% reduction in revenue. So all things considered, we actually got off easier than some. We experienced about a 35% reduction in revenue, and that hurt. We had been working really hard on the site. We had increased our revenue by 320% in 4 months. But this change in Amazon's commission structure changed everything for us. We realized that we could spend countless more hours trying to sell the site for our original goal of 500,000, or we could just accept the rules of the game had changed and we could move forward accordingly. So Rob and I talked and we agreed to finish out our plan for improving the site and then put it up for sale. We would try to get the best price we could, knowing that it definitely wouldn't be $500K. As you know from the title, we ended up selling the site for $235,000. And I know some of you are probably thinking, Doug, you said you were gonna sell the site for $500,000 and $235,000 is way less than that. So are you happy with the result? And the answer is pretty simple. We accomplished what we wanted to do with this project. We sold the site for a good profit, and I honestly learned so much in the process that it was definitely worthwhile. Sometimes things change. Actually, things constantly change, like the commission structure with Amazon. But I know being able to adapt quickly and effectively is what makes me and my site successful. Now, I'm armed even better for the next challenge I decide to take on. And I hope you feel better armed as well after watching these videos. I know these guidelines will really help you increase and improve your traffic and revenue. Please leave questions and comments below, and like the video if you found this enjoyable or informative at all, and subscribe if you want more videos like this. If you want some free goodies, check out my website, Niche Site Project, for more details like a task list for creating an Amazon affiliate niche site, a bunch of keywords, and I have tons of useful articles and other videos to help you make your Amazon niche site the best it can be. The question of the day is, what's your take on how things turned out? So tell me in the comments below, and remember to check out the comments. Some of the best ideas come from you, the Niche Site Project community. Thanks.